A change is underway in the nation's capital as federal law enforcement ramps up patrols.
This as President Donald Trump threatens to take control of the city. That could include the D.C. Police Department and possibly the entire D.C. government.
Thanks for joining us for News 4 at 4. I'm Un Yang.
And I'm Erica Gonzalez. We have team coverage for you this evening. We want to kick things off with News 4's Mark Segraves.
Mark's here in the studio to break things down for us. What does this mean for district residents, Mark, and visitors, and how is this going to be implemented?
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack here. There's nothing new about these threats from the president. He's been making these comments since before the election last year. But after a former DOJ staffer was attacked by a group of teenagers, Trump has ramped up federal action. Listen to the president's most recent comments.
We have a capital that's very unsafe. You know, we just almost lost a young man, beautiful, handsome guy that got the hell knocked out of him the night before last. We're going to do something about it. So whether you call it federalized or what, and that also includes the graffiti that you see, the papers all over the place, the roads that are in bad shape, the medians that are falling down, the median in between roads that's falling down. We're going to beautify the city. We're going to make it beautiful. And what a shame. The rate of crime, the rate of muggings, killings, and everything else, we're not going to let it. And that includes bringing in the National Guard, maybe very quickly, too.
So to be clear, crime in the district is down in just about every single category there is, and there has been no activation of the D.C. National Guard. But there was a conference call last night with local and federal law enforcement and the Make D.C. Safe and Beautiful task force. Sources familiar with that call tell me there was a lack of specificity and coordination during the call. There was not a clear game plan concerning deployments and responsibilities other than a directive to federal agencies to increase patrols in high visibility areas of the city. We do know the U.S. Park Police is the lead police agency. And while Park Police did not respond to a request for comment from us, Park Police did put out this tweet showing some guns and drugs that were confiscated the other night. ATF also tweeted about the same incident near Georgia Avenue. But so far, there's no evidence of any surge in arrests last night as a result of the deployment of federal police.
So I'm curious here. You call 911. Who shows up? And then do the federal police have the same jurisdiction authority that the local D.C. police would have?
Yeah, so not all police departments in D.C. are created equal. There are dozens of federal police departments with varying degrees of jurisdiction. That doesn't mean you can ignore an Amtrak officer if you're miles away from the train station. This is likely why Park Police are the lead agency. U.S. Park Police have broad authority in D.C. and the region. So what is likely to happen, you'd have one federal agency that would make a stop. And if they determine an arrest is warranted, they would request assistance from Park Police or MPD. As for who will show up when you call for help, that will still be MPD. The DC's 911 call center deploys DC police, not federal police. Unless the call comes in, say, from Rock Creek Park, then that call would be transferred to Park Police for dispatch.
Oh, thanks for clarifying that for us, because I was wondering why U.S. Park Police as a lead agency. Mark, the president has already reiterated his threat to take over control of the D.C. government. You warned about this before the election. Is that going to become a reality anytime soon, though?
So those threats always have to be taken seriously, particularly with a president who doesn't always obey the courts, and a Republican House and Senate that has shown its willingness to interfere with local D.C. affairs.
We know, of course, the mayor has really towed this delicate balance with trying to run her city as well as trying to keep open lines of communication with the president. Notably, we have not heard from her or Council Chair Phil Mendelson. What do you make of that?
So Mayor Bowser made it clear early on in the Trump administration she's not going to jump in front of a microphone and respond to everything that he does or says. Yeah. I spoke to some administration officials on background who told me, look, they welcome increased police presence in D.C. that helps with public safety. They hope that this is a 7-day event that will end after 1 week, which they have announced. It's likely that there will be some data collection from the federal agencies agencies. So they'll put out some proof of performance report at the end of the week showing how much they've done. And D.C. officials are hoping after that it just passes and goes away and it doesn't ramp up to the next level of bringing in the National Guard, which, remember, does not have police powers. They're usually brought in for crowd control, traffic control, things of that nature, not actually to serve and protect, as we know the tagline for police.
Mark, can you talk a little bit about the politics of this move and what the Trump administration is trying to do in terms of exerting their power over D.C.?
So, again, this is nothing new for the president to say these things. A lot of people think he's trying to distract from other pressures that he's feeling in other national issues, and this is a good way to get this on headlines, our lead story, rather than something else. It is definitely politics for the local government, for the mayor and the chairman who don't want to pick a fight with the president of the United States. And so far, Mayor Bowser has been doing a really good job of striking that balance, remaining in power, and keeping the president happy for the most part when it comes to homeless encampments and crime enforcement. Again, it's important to note, despite what the president has said, crime, particularly violent crime numbers, are down considerably in the district compared to last year.
All right, Mark Segraves, on a story that seems to be evolving by the minute. Thank you for joining us this afternoon, and no doubt we'll be checking back in with you on this, Mark. Thank you.